Hello, y'all. Shaniqua is here. What is up? I'm gonna tell you what's up. And all over the news still, the earthquake we had. Yes, we didn't have an earthquake per se right here. We felt an earthquake coming from somewhere else. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember earthquakes happening a lot. We felt in earthquakes a lot here when I was younger. Coming from the California area, and quite a few of those earthquakes were like really devastating, like pancaked freeways and killed lots and lots and lots of people. I was a little kid. I slept through those motherfucking things. But this one, I was awake for. I felt that shit. Okay, my boobs were not the only thing shaking up in here, okay? Alright, like, you know, I just like the little shakiness, you know, woo! Oh, yeah, that wasn't the only thing up in here jiggling. That wasn't the only thing up in here bouncing. Okay, everything was. Well, not really that bad here. It was feelable here. And it felt very weird. It felt like, the only way I can describe it is if the bed was floating in the ocean. You know, the bed was floating in the ocean, and it wasn't like rough seas, just casual calm waters, and the bed is just floating along in the ocean. That's what it felt like. Because it happened around 10:33, 10:30 something on the 4th of July in the morning. And I'm laying in bed, had been trying to sleep since 7 a.m. I could not sleep for the life of me. Like, I could not fucking fall asleep. I was getting so irritated. And eventually while I'm laying there, I have this app on my phone called Earthquake Alert. And it went off. And I looked at it, it said a 4.2. And I'm like, okay, it's in California, 4.2, that's not that bad. I'm just going to go back to sleep, just ignore it, whatever. Not even a half an hour later, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes later, that's when I started feeling the bed move. And I sit up, and I look at my fiance, and I'm like, he's not moving, he's not tossing, why is the bed moving? Am I really that tired? Am I really that exhausted and out of it that I'm feeling the bed move? You know, because you know when you get really tired and really drained, everything feels all weird and motiony, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got that little weird euphoria type feeling when you don't have enough sleep. That's what I thought was going on. I was like, okay, I had to be that tired. I had to be that exhausted that it just feels like the bed is moving. But it kept going. And I'm like, damn. I was like, what is going on? So I got curious, you know, I need some clarity. I know this bed is moving. It has to be. So I jump out of bed, turn on the closet light, and I see the clothes swaying. And the closet, swaying back and forth. And I'm like, holy motherfucking shit, we're having a legit earthquake. Like, what the fuck? So I am like tripping, and I'm like yelling at him, you know, like, there's an actual earthquake going on, get up. And he's like, you know, and I'm like, okay, alright. I must be crazy, I must be tripping, I must be just hallucinating. You know, I had too much to drink on Fremont Street last night. This must be like something, you know. So I run into my mom's room, and she's standing at the edge of her bed like, did you feel that? And I'm like, oh, thank God, somebody else in the house, you know, felt that. I'm not the only one. I'm not hallucinating. I'm not tripping. I didn't have too much to drink last night. Thank God. Maybe I should have, though. It may have been a lot more fun with the ocean waveness. No, because I probably would have been hungover, so that would have really made me just vomit everywhere. But anyway, so she felt it too. And she told me her little story of what was going on, which I have filmed for you. Like, I filmed it, you know, so she could tell you a little bit what she experienced and what she went through too. It was like, whew, it's legit, you know, like, and so here's hers. Mama, what did you experience?
Well, what I experienced was, well, first of all, last night, the 3rd of July, I was very stressed out. I was having a very hard time sleeping. I took 2 Ativans and I still couldn't sleep. I finally dozed off, woke up early, started watching the parade. then I got tired and I was just about to fall asleep again, and I felt the bed moving, and I thought it was the cat, and I looked over, there was no cat. And then I noticed that the blinds were shaking. I could see the light coming through the blinds, and I could hear the clothes moving in the closet, and I realized that we were having an earthquake. And it just freaked me out, and it kind of explains why I was stressed out and couldn't sleep. So, you know, 4th of July, I'll never forget. Anyways. So that's about pretty much it. I mean, there's been 150 aftershocks, and I'm kind of scared, about what's going to happen next. But everything's okay for now. But I don't know about, I don't know what's happening. Something's crazy going on. So, with the Yellowstone geyser going off, and all the volcanoes and earthquakes all over the place. That's what there was a 6 point something up in Alaska, up by Canada. The day before, on the 3rd, I think. And then today on the 4th, we have a 6.4 down here, right close to Vegas, pretty close to Vegas. But strong enough for us to feel it here, So, yeah, and then after that, I didn't go back to sleep, still haven't been back to sleep. So, anyways, pretty crazy.
Okay, so that's what she experienced, And we have a roommate downstairs who felt the earthquake too, who woke up, who was awake and felt it. He didn't want to go on camera and share his experience. I don't know why, but whatever. But yeah, he felt it too, But he was looking around to see if anything was moving, and he couldn't see anything moving, so he thought he was just like tripping, just like I thought I was. Until I saw the clothes in the closet swing. Closet close. Close closet, whatever. But yeah, it was trippy. It was really trippy. Okay, all craziness aside, this was a pretty significant shake. It was the strongest earthquake in 20 years that hit Southern California, about 50 or so miles away from the Barstow city of Barstow, and 100 and so miles away from Las Vegas. It was felt all the way out here and all the way up to Los Angeles. It was pretty significant for 6.4 on the Richter scale. So, and when I say it caused significant damage, I don't mean it caused major, catastrophic, death tolls, skyrocketing. No. It did cause damage. They got a lot of calls for damaged buildings and everything. About 20 or so fires broke out around the earthquake area. It ruptured a water main to the only hospital in that area. And that hospital was shut down. They had to evacuate all the patients that were in the hospital. There was no water. There was no nothing. It busted out in the middle of the street, just flooding through the cracks in the street. So they had to take everybody to another hospital that was quite a few miles away. There's a lot of earthquake videos that I'm going to show you of the shaking that happened out there in California. I'm going to show you some of the shaking videos that people checked happened out here in Las Vegas when I get to that. It was so significant, the earthquake, that there's a road that goes from, there's a road that goes from here to California, one of the interstates. And here's a picture of that. Let me post that right here. That interstate, I can't remember what interstate it was, forgive me, but look at the big crack in it. The road came apart. Naturally, of course, but what would normally happen in a significant earthquake. But yeah, here's this. So, and let me show you this while I'm on pictures right now. Here are some pictures of damages in businesses out in California. And I have a video of one of these businesses. They walked around and showed the damages. It was pretty chaotic, I guess you could say. So yeah, so it happened today on the 4th of July, 2019. 6.4 earthquake, strong enough to come out here to Las Vegas. Rattle us around a little bit. But here's the thing. Seismologists are saying that considering what is going on with these aftershocks, how weird they are and how they're not decreasing over time. They're saying, and I will show you proof, that there is a 50% chance or higher that California will have another larger, more significant earthquake than the 6.4 and the following week. A 50% chance, or maybe higher, that another earthquake will happen. That's going to be worse than this one. So that is alarming. That is freaking me out. That is like scaring me because, in all honesty, I had a horrible, I don't know what type of dream it was, because it wasn't no regular dream. I'm going to tell you that right now. It was fucking freaky. It was, about like a year or two ago? There was a bad earthquake that came from California. A bad earthquake. And I'm telling you, like, bad. And the shaking out here was intense. Intense enough in the dream to collapse the floor on the second story and bring it down to the bottom level in the dining room area. And the floor had collapsed. Maybe use your boat stamp card as an example. Here's the second floor, okay? The TV and entertainment center is right here. The bed's going up against this wall right here. Right here. Sorry, I'm going to tilt it sideways. TV and entertainment system are on this side. The bed and stuff is in front. Well, where the TV and entertainment system sit, it fell that way. So I remember in the dream the earthquake was going on. And I was running through the house trying to get my mom down the stairs and trying to get out of the house. It was very hard to move how much the shaking was happening. And it was very hard to get outside because like we're being like thrown into the walls of the stairwell, in our apartment, going down the stairs, trying to get outside. But the floor went boop. And I remember I was outside in this dream. And there was something important. I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure if it was one of our cats or whatnot that was upstairs. So I ran up the collapsed floor to the second level to find whatever it was that was so important.
My pipe.
Your pipe? I'm gonna smack a bitch, I swear to fucking God. Your pipe is not that important.
It's so pretty, I got it from Reed.
Anyway, so that's what happened in the dream. And it's kind of alarming that this is going on right now because it feels like to me my dream might just be realized. Because like they said there's a high chance, 50% chance, or maybe even greater, of another earthquake happening in California that is bigger than the 6.4. So, anyway, I'm going to show you some news videos out here in Las Vegas of the shaking and stuff that happened at the news station out here in Las Vegas, Channel 8 News. Look at this.
Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Bianca Holman. It was a shaky start to our 4th of July celebrations here in southern Nevada. The National Weather Service reports at 10:35 this morning, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake struck near the Surlis Valley. That's about 60 miles northwest of Barstow, California. You can see it right here on the map in front of you. And then what you're looking at right now is those shocks that they were felt right here. You're looking at our newsroom. You can see the televisions and the lights shaking back and forth. I mean, it was pretty scary there for us. It was definitely a huge shock for us this morning. And so even though that earthquake was in California, plenty of people here felt it, our newsroom, and definitely out on the Strip. And so 8 News Now reporter Orko Manna joins us. And Orko, I understand that tourists, did they feel something out there? Did you feel it?
Yeah, Bianca, we definitely felt it out here. My photographer Henry and I were actually in our news car, and it was swaying back and forth a little bit. The same goes for a lot of the people who are here on the Las Vegas Strip today. But as far as the effects of the earthquake, there weren't much. The Nevada Department of Transportation says they haven't seen any damage, and Las Vegas Fire and Rescue also tweeted out that there are no reports of damage or any injuries at all. But it was still a pretty crazy experience for tourists who were just hanging out inside the casinos here on the Strip.
I just felt like shaking left to the right, and it felt kind of weird. Like it's kind of like you on like a ride or something. You remember like like a carnival ride. It felt weird.
I was sitting down to eat, and then I just felt something shaking, and my sister was like, what's going on? And then I got looking around. I didn't see nothing moving but just the ground. So then I figured out it was an earthquake then.
I was actually sitting at the blackjack table at the Wynn, and it just felt like I was on a boat, and we were just doing this. I actually thought the guy that I was sitting with was kicking the table, and then he looked at me and he goes, "Did you feel that earthquake?" So yeah, again, a pretty crazy experience for the people out here on the Strip. And we also heard from county officials and Metro Police who confirmed that there was no significant damage and no reported injuries. We will keep an eye out, and if anything changes. Also, if you experience the earthquake and happen to take some video, be sure to tweet it to us and also send it via email. For now, reporting live on the Las Vegas Strip, Orgomana, 8 News Now.
So as you can see on the news station, the lamps and everything were swaying back and forth, just like my clothes in the damn closet. Okay, now, I'm going to try to wrap this up as quickly as I possibly can now. I'm going to show you some other damages and everything and videos that I can find. I'm just going to stockpile them up right now. How about that? Just like, let them play. You know, let them flow. Let them do what they do. Alright, I'll be back in a second.
I've experienced a stronger one in, for example, Chile. This is why they tell you to get underneath something that's solid. So that table that you see there in the video, that is where you want to go.
Kern County officials say there were gas leaks and water leaks, but most of the power has been restored. Kern County Fire says less than an hour after the quake, they responded to dozens of incidents, from fires to medical assistance. And at one point, the Ridgecrest Regional Hospital had to be evacuated. A cooling center has also been opened.
Now take a look at this massive house fire that fire crews responded to in Ridgecrest. No word on whether anyone was inside or hurt, but you can see crews spraying it down with water. Kern County says apart from fires, search and rescue teams are also out surveying areas.
And right now you're taking a look at pictures from a home in Searles Valley, California. That is the epicenter of this earthquake. You can see food items strewn across the floor, a broken mirror, and a bunch of broken glasses on the floor as well. The homeowner says the whole place was shaking and they had to turn off the gas out of an abundance of caution.
And check out this picture near Ridgecrest, California. The road appears to have been ripped open because of that strong earthquake. You can see that large gap right there in the asphalt.
We have team coverage for you tonight from Decatur and Flamingo to our own weather center.
But let's start with 13 investigative reporter Joe Bartels. He's live from Ridgecrest, which is just 11 miles from the epicenter of the biggest earthquake. Joe.
Well, Jackie and Ross, the shaking here in Ridgecrest was intense, so much so that the regional hospital here had to be evacuated, as you mentioned, and there's concerns right now whether it is structurally sound.
20 victims taken to Ridgecrest Hospital, where at the same time they had to evacuate part of it due to unsafe conditions.
The computers were flying off onto the ground. The water bottle container was shaking. All the cupboards and doors were opening.
Roads ripped open outside of town. This liquor store destroyed. Contents of these supermarket shelves tossed to the floor.
A big jolt and felt all over Southern California.
The quake, lasting at least 20 seconds, felt as far away as Las Vegas. In Los Angeles, water mains bursting.
All units, we are on citywide earthquake mode.
Crowds of people pouring out of buildings onto the streets. Seismologist Lucy Jones says this was a strike slip quake. That means the two plates along the fault move parallel to each other, but in opposite directions. She says 30 minutes before the main quake, there was a 4.2 foreshock, and this event is not over yet.
Okay, so that's everything that I could find at this current time. The earthquake happened not even 24 hours ago. It is, what time is it right now? It is 12:20 in the morning. It's a brand new day. It is the 5th, no longer the 4th. And about maybe like 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
But 10 hours from now will be the 24-hour mark of the earthquake. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to go for now. Shaniqua over and out. I am done talking about this. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all. Hugs and kisses. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to leave you with this warning from the geologists, the USGS people, earthquake study people, of the warning that they are saying that another earthquake could possibly happen within a week. So here's this video for you. I will talk to you guys later. You won't be seeing me again after this last video. Just to let you know. Peace out, y'all.
So the basics of the earthquake is near China Lake and Ridgecrest. So the area to the east of the southernmost part of the San Andreas Fault. The nearest fault is the Little Lake Fault, and that it might be associated with it, but we don't know. It's a sparsely inhabited area, so the number of people who would have received damage is much lower. I think we need to check what's happening in Ridgecrest and China Lake.
Many people out in the LA Basin would have felt that rolling shaking, whereas up here in the mountains, people didn't feel it as strongly. So we're going to have, even in the LA area, we'll have disparity in terms of the reports of the shaking.
One should always be preparing for a big one. This does not make it less likely. There is about a 1 in 20 chance that this location will be having an even bigger earthquake within the next few days, that we have not yet seen the biggest earthquake of the sequence. It's certain that this area is going to be shaken a lot today, and some of those aftershocks will probably exceed magnitude 5, which means they will become damaging. This would be a good time to remind you that if you have been experiencing earthquakes for the last 20 years in Southern California, you have been experiencing an extremely quiet time in California history. The last time we had an earthquake in Southern California above magnitude 6 was 1999. The previous decade had about 8 magnitude 6s. So this has been an extremely quiet, abnormal time. This type of earthquake is much more normal.